I get asked a lot, does someone who is narcissistic love us, or love their parents, their kids, or frankly, anyone for that matter? I feel the answer is complex, so in this video, I want to dive into this and explore the topic of narcissists and love. For those of you looking for a quick answer, which is probably a lot of you, it's no. They don't love us, nor anybody else for that matter. Narcissism is selfish, extremely self-serving, and love just doesn't have any place in that kind of arena. It never has, and it never will. Most narcissists are really scared of love because love requires us to be vulnerable with another person. A bond has to be formed here, and bonds are built on things like trust, honesty, and communication, among many other things. And none of these are strong points for a highly narcissistic person. There are also narcissists that feel something kind of like love. It's really hard for me to put a finer point on it, but it's a very warped view on the idea of love, a very tarnished, I think, ideal on what real love is. I believe some narcissists have this and some don't, but things with a narcissist are always going to be transactional. And the theory that I have kind of learned and developed is knowing what we know about narcissism, that it's riddled with immaturity, refusing to take accountability for one's behavior, acting out, lashing out, control issues and tantrums, all those things. And then we take that and we add in what we know about them and their love of all things stale, transactional, and very, very cold. I believe some of them have this version and idea of love. Imagine a small child, maybe 5 or 6 years old, and you are the parent in this situation. They smile every time they see you. They light up and they're just tickled pink at the thought of you, and they love you very, very much. Until you tell them they can't have a snack before dinner. You tell them that they need to go and get washed up because they've been playing outside all day. And we know where this is going to lead to. You get the anger, the denial, the defiance. I hate you, mom or dad, respectively. This isn't fair. You can't make me do this. I don't want to. I don't love you anymore. You're awful and you're mean and you're making me do things I don't want to do. You get that kind of reaction. You said I can't go play with my friends. I'll ask mom or dad, grandma, whoever. I'll go get the answer I really want from someone else. I don't like what you're telling me right now. This is how I think some narcissists see the idea of love. One of those, if you really loved me, you would want me to be happy. You wouldn't make me get a job. You wouldn't make me be responsible or do things I want to do. I don't like you anymore. You won't give me what I want. So I'm discarding your ass because my new supply is better than you and they let me do whatever I want. It's love, quote unquote, but only on their terms. It's very conditional. You have to let them do everything they want, and then they feel as if they give you some sort of love. And it's hard to tell which ones have these certain ideals. Maybe all of them do. They just don't express it. Some act this way, and some just don't. If you'd like to talk one-on-one with me about what you're going through in a toxic relationship or what you've gone through in the aftermath of a toxic relationship, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up private chats. I know some people might ask about love bombing now. Surely that has to be real. There's so many feelings involved here, and some of them seem just so incredibly infatuated with us. And that's just it. Love bombing, while it gets that title, it can also be called idealization. And it isn't actually love at all. It's lust, desperation for them in some cases. Yes, infatuation. They don't know you. We can't love somebody that we don't know. They only think you're perfect, and they fall madly in love with their idea of you. They take little bits and pieces and conclude that you're perfect, and then they feel as if they're madly in love with you. And again, it isn't love to begin with. It's that transactional, conditional kind of love. And we all know what's right around the corner, the devaluing. Now, I don't necessarily subscribe that the love bombing is fake. Again, I feel it's warped and tainted and misguided. You're boosting their egos and making them happy, so they think they found that perfection. which is what all narcissists are looking for, that perfect, ideal sort of person. And that's what this is all about. Once they find out that we're human, we're flawed, and we are, in fact, not perfect, we know for a fact the devaluing kicks in and it all goes downhill from there. No, the love bombing isn't love. And I know we all become intoxicated in that love bombing phase. But the thing that we really have to understand through our healing is love bombing is really, really unrealistic. Number one, it's also incredibly unhealthy. This is not how love works. Love takes time. You have to learn somebody. You have to figure them out. You have to know what they're like in certain situations. And this thing that we become intoxicated and addicted to, we now start to look for that in other people. And some people, after they move on from someone narcissistic, when they get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't have those signs and doesn't have those tendencies, they frankly get very bored. Or they don't feel like the other person is maybe as into them as they should be because they aren't being love bombed. And not everybody love bombs. That's not how it works. It's not supposed to. Love bombing, whether you have good intentions or bad intentions like a narcissist, is incredibly toxic. And as we go through our healing, we really need to square with that. Yeah, they're always going to love bomb, but we need to learn how incredibly unhealthy all of that really is. And that love bombing has absolutely nothing to do with love. Another question that I get as far as love is, well, why do they stay then? Or why do they get married? Or why do they have long-term relationships? On the flip side, it's why do they keep coming back to me? Surely if they keep hoovering me, they keep showing up, then they must really care about me. All these signs point to love. And that's also just not completely accurate. They stay because, frankly, it's convenient. It's easy. Perhaps they have worn you down until they get their way all the time. They get married because, again, they feel as if this person will give them the most benefits. I really have to impress here the selfish behavior, the highly narcissistic behavior, the self-serving behavior. None of them do anything, just not a damn thing, if they see no benefit in it for them. That is the way of the narcissist. They have to see some benefit for them in the long term and the short term, respectively. That's what things like future faking are all about. They make you false promises so they can get what they want right here in the moment. And your gift comes somewhere down the road, which we know it never does. A lot of times narcissists propose, get married, suggest having kids, or moving in together when they sense you getting ready to leave, and they can't risk losing you as a source of supply. It's all convenience, it's all manipulation, it's all trial and error. None of these things have anything to do with love. The sad truth is that there is no love from this person because they don't love themselves. You can't love anybody else in this world if you don't love yourself, and you have to be able to know how to do this. You have to love and value yourself. Narcissists are not going to do this. They're very self-loathing people. They have very low self-esteem. Sometimes that's hard to see because they seem as if they have almost a God complex or a superiority complex. And that's all false. It's a fake image to mask the inferiority that's hiding underneath. These are all things a narcissist is afraid of: love, vulnerability, intimacy, commitment. They want something a little bit different. They want to be admired, worshipped, praised, doted on, and all of those things. But love, they're actually not much interested in that idea. They don't want that from you, survivor, and you will certainly never get it from them. They are not interested. You will never get real love. You'll get infatuation, you'll get manipulation, you'll get idealized, you'll be devalued. Never, ever will you get love. Not the kind of love I don't think that you would actually really want anyway. If you want that cold, sterile, transactional version of love, then have at it, because that's all you're ever really going to get. So does the narcissist really love anyone, even themselves? Tell me your thoughts on this down in the comments. If you want to chat with me live, you can swing by my weekly live streams that I do every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when I go live. You can do that and go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. If you're not, shame on you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.